out with it. So Huffington Post Science now has the story. It was in all the papers, the whole climate change story, talking about how climate change may be causing the Earth's poles to shift. And I think it's coincidental that only about 3 weeks ago, Eric Briggs and I were talking about the Earth tilting and how we could see the Earth tilting by looking at the rotation of the moon. And I can remember people going out in their backyards and seeing it and being amazed that we talked about the Earth was tilting, and the flack that we got for talking about the Earth tilting. And then lo and behold, here we go. The Earth is tilting because water is sloshing to the South Pole, I think, or something like that. But the point is that they're saying that the Earth's tipping because of these material changes. And I would just remind everybody that the Earth is a humongous ball of, well, iron, nickel, magma, all that kind of stuff. What happens on the surface isn't enough to turn the planet around, guys. The mass of the inside of the planet is far greater than the mass that's on the outside of the planet. But anyway, the point is that this is what the media is going to try to tell us that is going on. And I want to be very plain that this is the kind of PR treatment you can expect to continue and continue. One of my good friends on Facebook and I were lamenting together on how this just ticks us off when we see this kind of thing, and we know that the Earth is tilting, we know that the pole is changing, and we know it's because of its approaching system to our solar system, and that's what our theory is. And nobody's been able to dissuade me. All they've ever been able to do is prove it to me by the way that they fight the message so hard with this kind of PR, right? The next thing I'm going to show you is probably one of the most shocking things I've seen in the last 30, 45 days, quite frankly. This is April 10th, 2016. It's a time lapse that one of the subscribers put together, thank you, subscriber, to show us a time lapse of a whole day in Alaska. Wait till you see this, everybody. Check it out. Sun's coming up. Looks pretty normal. Everything's cool. Might have a couple objects, things like that we could look at. Yes. Now watch what happens. Sun goes down. Now is the sun down, everybody? Does everybody agree that the sun's down now? Watch what happens next. What is that? What is that? And what is that? Wow. Amazing capture using time-lapse. I think time-lapse is our best tool, really, to be honest with you guys. It's been where I've gotten the best captures, and then we've got these other planetary bodies flying over in Alaska, too. So this is some pretty awesome grumpy moose footage from Alaska. I just wanted to show you guys and make sure you saw that. That is probably some of the most amazing, like I said, footage that I've seen in a long time. Okay, so everybody, this is a new toy that we have at WSO reporting. It's an IR camera, and I'm able to look at things at nighttime. And there was a very heavy cloud layer 2 nights ago with the sun, in this case, was in the southwest, pretty much more west than south, but it was in the southwest. And then I was able to capture this other orb, very bright orb that was shining through the cloud layer. And again, it was just, I thought it was interesting that it was showing through on IR so clearly when none of the other background stars were showing up, right? So just to make sure that I wasn't seeing some kind of a space object, a normal object, what I did was I went and actually did a capture to show that here's the moon on that time on Monday night, and there were no obvious objects in the sky there, okay? This is the same view from Madison, Wisconsin. I'm not using Stellarium anymore. I'm using the University of Wisconsin astronomy programs, just so you know. And this is what I saw, and I did not see anything here. So back to the IR footage. The IR footage was pretty clear that it was showing a very bright object, a flashing object. It wasn't an airplane, by the way. It was just a very large orb. And so the WSO IR camera caught something on Monday night. Pretty interesting. All right, let's go on to the subscriber photos here. So to kind of continue on some of the science stuff that we've been trying to do as opposed to the old wives' tales, it was funny because we were showing the air masses going to the South Pole and trying to explain it because it's gravitational or magnetic effects of Nibiru coming on the system. So, of course, I had to have my expert troll come on and say, old wives' tales said this and that and the other thing about, how rough it is in the South. And I'm like, you're bringing me an old wives' tale after I show you a sat image that shows the density of the air. You know, it's just getting ridiculous. Anyway, so here we've got two images of the stratosphere and basically showing how the North Pole and the South Pole are in a much different place. And normally these are balanced vortices on either side of the planet. The other thing that you'll notice is that there's a new vortice that seems to be starting to be forming in and around Great Britain, which is kind of follows with that climate change thing. The other thing that, and again, this is from a very gracious subscriber who's helping me do some slides, but the volcanism has gotten pretty intense over the last month. And just go take a look at any of the volcanic, programs out there and just see. But this is just from the last couple of days. And again, while the white in this graphic shows the water vapor, so not only do we have air mass traveling down to the South Pole, but we also have a larger amount of water in the air down there as well. So again, it's just more corroborating evidence, right? And then here's the mean air pressure at sea level, and the balances are being severely distorted. And the question that the subscriber wants us to ask, which I will ask, is what could be causing these drastic changes? And it's not because the water's sloshing around, guys. That's just a ridiculous theory. Okay. Next picture. This is the ABC News version of the same story that I was talking about, and I started picking up on it and just talking about it. But it's just crazy, stupid explanation. I can't believe people would buy that. And then to further corroborate, on Monday I had another subscriber that got this picture of the moon and this object. So it's the same object that I caught with the IR camera. So I thought it was a nice corroboration. This is the crazy stuff that's coming out of Moonglow lately, guys. It's just crazy. Moonglow Observatory on the All Skycam network. Look at this crazy stuff, man. Just crazy stuff. Here's a testimony in Boston, all over the United States. They're slamming into buildings and the median and road signs because GPS systems haven't been working right. I don't need to know about that. Speaking about GPS systems, while I haven't found my first rig yet, we're almost done with the second rig, and so we should get another flight in this weekend. I'm going to be talking to some specialists to find out what would be the best time for us to send up this balloon. But anyway, this subscriber wants me to tell people that there might be something going on with the GPS, so don't be so trusting of GPS when you're driving. Okay, everybody? Grumpy Moose, from the magnetic detection units, we are seeing humongous expressions in the blue planet, just as clear as day. Here's where we're seeing the blue planet above the sun, but it's again behind this the halo of the sun, and this is in Illinois, by the way. We just looked at those. Here's one. At first, when I first looked at it, I thought, oh, halo image with a sun flare. It's not a sun flare. It's a green freaking planet or something, guys. Again, we're getting that yellow object everywhere we look. Wow. These are intense images, and this kind of goes with MBB333 guy. I mean, he was actually catching this this object here, but look at the blue hue of it and the bump on the sun there. Here's a picture of, so first of all, we've got the halo there, and then that could be a lens flare of some sort. I think that might be a lens flare. Sorry. This is just interesting because this is a tower here, but this is a red orb up here in this somewhere in the East Coast Skycam network. Here's an interesting little take. They were in the car. They were driving to Home Depot. They're in Monroe, Louisiana. They pulled over and took a couple pictures, and bam, here's what they saw. It only lasted for a few minutes, so it was like one of those planets that show up and leave. Oh, the little Chris spotted. That was just me and Chris talking. Here's another kind of interesting question for everybody, and I really like you guys to think about it and give me your feedback on it. But I'd like to start setting up local groups for people to meet and to at least get together. It's bad enough being alone, but some of these folks are crying for help. So let's talk about and get your thoughts on how we can set up a community group in each of the local areas and start getting people together. Wow, look at this orb from Puerto Rico the other day. Look at how clear it is. Now, this one I just wanted to put back up there. These are the coordinates that we saw back last June or July, where the last known position of Nibiru is. Why can't somebody just like play around with that with their telescope? Oh, this one is just trippy, man. Look at that, guys. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a very good shot right there. That is not a lens flare. And what's really cool about these, you see these little, these are the Monroe, Louisiana photographs, close-ups. Look at that weird phenomenon. Here's where we got a screenshot from a viewer, I think, well, some beach somewhere, let's just say, and we're getting the blocked sun out, and then they put a little fear face in there. Now, what's interesting about this particular photograph, this was taken from Saskatchewan today, and this is the sun 28 minutes apart. The sun is not moving at the correct speed. 28 minutes from here, on anybody's sunset would have been gone by now, but in a 28-minute period. Thank you, Saskatchewan viewer. Now, at first you look at this and you go, oh, what's so important about this? Well, look a little bit closer, guys. There's a planet back there with stripes on it. So the system's coming in, man. Look at all these pictures. They're undeniable. Unbelievable footage that we're getting. Guys, this is undeniable stuff, okay? This is a picture where they said they saw a double moon. Virginia, 411. They're actually catching the planets with their own, with just the cameras now. Here are two dark objects that they were able to actually catch in the sky. Look at this, guys. 410, 2016. Oh my goodness. Do you know Jesus, man? Do you? He's ready to know you, man. This is a photograph that was supposedly got leaked out to WSO channel. It was a photograph taken in 1983 from the IRAS satellite of one of the planets in the system. I think we recognize big orb, little orb. Blue orb, clear. Very clear. And that takes us back to the beginning again. So I just wanted to make sure we caught up tonight. I know it's a lot of information to share. There's more to share tomorrow. I'll definitely be putting up another video. The balloon flight should be coming up here pretty